What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today was our first video of doing faith-based content on the channel. This happens about once to twice a week. If you haven't already watched the video going over how this is going to work, this is obviously not going to be for everybody, and I would not judge you for not watching these videos if you don't want to. For the people that do enjoy them, they'll be here, and we're going to be going over just different things in the Bible, different things like with real life faith and etc. Just kind of going anything faith related we'll be discussing here on the channel in these videos. So let's delve into it. Today is faith in the daily life. This is something that I wanted to do just because I feel like it's a good way to kind of get into it, to the meat of things. And it's something I struggle with. I don't know how many other people struggle with. I'm assuming a lot because it's something that's hard to do. Being a human being, it's hard for, especially in today's age, to kind of balance faith in real life duties, that being like work, hobbies, family, love, all that type of stuff. So our first thing that I want to talk about is our first verse. So depending on the topics, we'll have multiple verses, sometimes only one. Today we have 3 verses we're going to go over. The first verse is from James 1:12. It says, "Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him." And I think it's really interesting in this, because the way I read it is that everyone's going to have different types of tribulations in life, be it drugs, sexual desires, whatever it may be. And these are all temptations that we all have to deal with on a daily basis. And it is our duty as Christians, as man and children of God, to kind of work with those temptations and overcome them, and power through them, so that we can not only become better as human beings, but also just work on our own selves and make ourselves stronger in the lives that we live now. For a lot of people, I feel like it's really hard to... I know this is for new Christians too, people who just recently transferred into Christianity. It's really hard for them to understand, to grasp this idea that, like, they think that just because they're Christian they have to stop everything and do whatever the Bible says and not do anything else. But I think it's really hard for people to grasp their head around, because for me it's not like that. For me, I use the Bible not to tell me what I can and can't do every single day, but I use it more in the method of making sure that I'm making smart decisions and making a good faith backed decision. You don't need to, you don't have to use the Bible to decide what color, T-shirt to buy, or where the sun is in the sky, right? You can use it to better judge people and better judge situations, and maybe not be so harsh on someone who's having a bad day, because the Bible tells us that everyone has their own tribulations and their own trials that God has given them to power forward. And the next one that we're going to do here is from 2 Corinthians 5:7. And this says, "For we walk by faith and not by sight." This is a really good one. It's really simple. It's very straight to the point. And I think what it's trying to tell you in this verse is not necessarily ignore everything in real life, but when you're looking at something, look at it through the eyes of faith, right? When I go to the store and I buy a candy bar and I'm standing in line and someone gets mad, don't look at that as someone's getting mad because I'm standing in line buying a candy bar. Think of it as, maybe their tribulations are harder for them right now, right? And so you can kind of base it off of faith, and so that you don't necessarily get as frustrated or as angry or as upset or worried by things that you really can't affect and you can't really change. And I think that's important, because even as I today sit here, I oftentimes worry too much, and I don't put my worry in God and in faith. I worry as a human, and I think that's oftentimes our own tribulations, that we need to learn to not worry so much and let ourselves kind of trust the faith that we follow. And this can go for anything too, not just worrying. Anger. If our anger is real, maybe instead of getting angry at someone and lashing out, think about how you as a how would your faith view your anger lash out? Is it a reliable method, or is there a way to kind of discuss that and maybe break it down and understand it to maybe help other people understand you? So I think it's a really good way to kind of go about things, to walk by faith and not by sight. And our last verse will be this. Joshua 1:9 says, "Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee whatsoever thou goest." This one's a little more, I think, confusing for me, a little bit, I think. But I think I kind of understand the idea. So if anyone down below has kind of a better understanding of this, or view of this verse, a better interpretation. Because again, just a little thing here, the Bible is very dependent on how you read it. So obviously someone who is more old-fashioned is going to read it a little more old-fashioned. If you're more modern, you're going to read it a little more modern. And again, every person's different. So don't be so stuck on if your verse is realistic or yours is accurate or not. Just interpret it the way you do and go from there. I think that's the best way to do it. But for me, I think this verse is what it's trying to kind of get to, is that, so we'll break it down here to make it a little bit easier. Be strong and of good courage. I think that is a testament to things that's happening in the world right now with the Israelites, the Ukrainian people, or even just people in the UK, in Canada, in America, and many of the other countries like Ireland, who are sticking up for their rights and being strong and have courage, and they're not afraid, they're not backing down, they're not taking anything. And I think that's important because it builds character and it builds a connection to our ancestors in the same light that they did, right? Being able to stand up for what you truly believe in. I think that's what's kind of going for there. And then it says, "Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed." And I think that's what that's kind of going for is, if you were doing something and it matches with the Christian religion and the faith-based content, or even if it's just some morally good thing, right? Do not. Editor here, if you're wondering why there's Call of Duty randomly in the background, you're going to be seeing this for the rest of the video. I only took notice this after I recorded the video, but I tried to do the same image clip the entire way through. Just want to make a quick editor note that is, unfortunately, I had to change it to this because apparently Sheriff Factory only has a certain amount of clips you're allowed to input into a video. So even though I could record this thing and clip it as much as I want, if I insert clips or insert images, I can only do it a certain amount of times. So my apologies if it looks weird that there's Call of Duty in the background. Next time I will be prepared for this. I will just get gameplay next time for this. So yeah, back to the video. Love you guys. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Be afraid, do not be dismayed, that God will help us in the end, right? He will make sure that things are right. Perfect example of this is during the World War II with the Holocaust, right? The Allies were not dismayed, and do not be afraid, because there's a morally just fight, right, to protect another civilization and a group of people from being wiped off the planet. I think that's what it's kind of saying there, right? If it's a morally correct thing, don't be dismayed, right? You may have your doubts, but try not to have them, because be focused on the task at hand, and you'll find that the outcome will be good. Then it also says, "For the Lord thy God is with thee, with whoever's thou goes." I could be saying that's wrong. It is in I think it's supposed to be older English version of the way it's spelled and stuff. So if I'm pronouncing this wrong, let me know down below. But I think I'm doing a pretty good job of being pretty good. But it's basically saying, "For the Lord thy God is with thee whatsoever thou goes." So I think what it's saying is, no matter where you are, who you are, and when you are in time, that God is with you in every decision you make, right? You buy a house, God's there. You decide to marry someone, God is there. You decide to start a war or declare war or start a war because of defense, that God is there with you in those moments. When you're at your worst moments, breakups or a family loss or a pet loss, God is there with you in that current moment, as well as any other moment in time. When I lost my dog a couple months ago from old age, that was something I had to struggle with, but also it was a good thing once I realized it, and a good thing to accept is that no matter where you are, you're never alone, right? You're always with somebody, and that somebody is God in all time. And anytime you need to say something, to say someone, to just vent, sometimes it's okay to vent to God, right? People may call you crazy or something, and don't let them dismay you. Don't let them let you be afraid of their opinions, right? Be yourself and be okay with that. I know I often do sometimes. Sometimes I just vent. I could be alone in my room playing a video game, and I'll still vent. And I think that's a fine thing to do because it's at the end of the day that's what matters. So we wrote down all 3 of those verses that I have for us today, and we had a little conversation. If you have any input to put down below, or you have to talk about something, or you want to just vent about something, let me know down below. I would love to hear it. Again, these are safe spaces. Any toxicness will be demolished. All right, you will be banned if you do some toxins down below. This is just a safe space for people to talk about whatever issues they're having. If you're angry about something, you can let it down below. Just try to do it in a respectful way, okay? Don't be hatred. Don't let hatred control your comments, okay? Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully I'll get a better background for these videos. I just use a temporary folder because I want to get this video out for you guys. So you get to see my avatar for the whole video, my PSN avatar. Yeah, normal content as always, but these will be spread throughout the week or spread throughout every month. We'll have a couple of these videos. I want to try to do one every week. So if anyone that likes to care about faith-based content, don't worry, there's plenty of it coming. But we're also going to be uploading regular content too from the guys that don't care. Love you guys, and God loves you, and I'll see you guys in the next faith-based content video. Later.